Crates, and we are live with the Rappers and Rabbis crew. You can follow us at Rappers and Rabbis on all social media. And then please check us out on our website, www.rappersandrabbis.com. I go by Digital Crates. I got some extremely special guests with me tonight. Down below, as you see, I have two of the three co-founders of Rappers and Rabbis. I have Matt Barr and Rabbi Adam Mayer. And up to my right over here, I have live from California, from Los Angeles, we got Internal Rhyme in the building. He is an ambassador of hip hop and Judaism in the West Coast, representing for Rappers and Rabbis. Rhyme's got a new song out this week, so we're going to get into that a little bit later in this program. We're going to play some new music by Internal Rhyme. And I guess before we even kick it off, I got a little video that I could play so everybody that's tuned in and that will be tuning in can see what we're all about. We kind of take the wonderful world of Judaism and mesh it with the wonderful world of hip hop, and we remix prayers and songs in a way that anyone can enjoy, all ages, all races, all ethnicities. You don't have to be Jewish. You don't have to like hip hop to love what you do. You just have to be positive and have a good attitude about life and want to learn and grow. So here's a little video that'll tell you a little bit more about us.
May Hashem gift us with the one.
Welcome, my people, please sit where you want, sit where you want, sit where you want. An eye on inside and two eyes to the front, eyes to the front, eyes to the front. Your spirit alive, the Shekhinah, she's home, Shekhinah, she's home, Shekhinah, she's home. So feel out the vibe to feel it is flow, to feel it is flow, to feel it is flow. Hip hop on our play, now get ready, let's go. The didgeridoo and the shofar will blow. The rhythm is given, just follow the flow. Community singing my toe, my toe.
That's right, classic Jewish Shabbat prayers, ancient to contemporary, remixed with hip-hop beats and bars. But that's not all. In Rappers and Rabbis Beat Knesset, we plumb the depths of hip-hop to elevate our experience, specifically with the concept of the Cipher. As hip-hop Rebbe, Purple, explains.
A hip-hop cipher is when the community gathers in a circle-like formation where everyone is participating, no one is spectating. What's happening in the cipher is individuals are demonstrating their most creative and authentic self-expression. That could be beatboxing, it could be dance moves, it could be rapping, both written or improv, which we call freestyle. The cipher is about peace, it's about love, and it's the hip-hop community way.
We offer a professional development opportunity for leaders to work with us and our little prayer book to make sure the Cipher pops off at our Hip Hop Shabbat services to never be forgotten. All over your community.
Prepare for prayer. Hebra, come grab a chair. Congregation for community. Mr. Yaakov for mayor.
Shout out to Rappers and Rabbis.
Hip Hop Shabbat was awesome. I really liked that. I think it was very catchy, especially with the Shema.
It really was honestly a magical experience because it felt like heavenly hip hop vibe.
I loved it. I love the energy. I love the message behind it.
You?
Heavenly hip hop vibes. Heavenly hip hop vibes brought to you by Rappers and Rabbis. Before we go any further, why don't we have everybody go around and introduce themselves? Let's start with special guest Internal Rhyme.
Yeah, what's going on, everybody? My name is Internal Rhyme. I am an ambassador of hip hop and Judaism, as Crate said. I really like that. But I am currently located in LA, originally from the Philly area. And yeah, happy to be here tonight. Last time I was live with Rappers and Rabbis was from the hospital. So glad to be back in better health and back again with my brethren. And yeah, grateful to be here.
And we're grateful to have you, man.
Absolutely, Rhyme. L'chaim, l'chaim.
L'chaim. Everybody, Rabbi Adam, Shavua Tov. I hope we have a good week ahead of us. And yeah, we're here in Philadelphia. Rappers and Rabbis holding it down in the Philly front.
That's right.
Say hi.
I'm Matt Barr, of director of Bible Rap, and I've been teaching Judaism with hip hop for 13 years now. And so it's great to work with other MCs and other rabbis to kind of continue that. The big difference is now we're kind of working with Jewish prayer, and so I was working with Jewish texts, and it's really exciting what we've been cooking up, and now that things are opening up, I'm looking forward to bringing it to everybody live. All these new tracks, all these new songs. Yeah, we're here in Philly. We're a founder, one other guy who founded it with us. Ali is from Philly, and then
Tex Rich.
Kind of the rest of the gang is up in Jersey, and that's the 7 or 8 Rabbis of hip hop or of Judaism or of both who come together to form Rappers and Rabbis.
Yeah, that's kind of was the inspiration behind our short link, PHLNW8. PHL obviously for Philly, and Northwest for like Northwest Jersey, and then 8 because at that time there was really 8 of us that were going strong. So if anyone wants to kind of write down the link to watch us or send the link to anyone else that wants to watch us, it's smarturl.it/PHLNW8. We are live right now on multiple platforms thanks to an innovation grant from the Jewish Federation of Greater Metro West New Jersey and the technology behind Restream. We are now live on YouTube. We're live on our Facebook page. We're live on Twitch. We're also live on Instagram and on Clubhouse. So please make sure to follow us at any of the links below. And, it's Saturday night. As we all know, it's the end of the Shabbat ritual. Shabbat is a day of rest, a day of reflection, a day of rejuvenation that's built into the week. And to mark the end of that is Havdallah. So I don't know, Rabbi, if you want to kind of just real quickly just kind of tell our listeners who may not be familiar what Havdallah is all about.
Yeah, so we finish the Sabbath, we finish Shabbat with Havdallah, which is a ceremony that acknowledges and recognizes the sacred space of a transition, of moving from one thing to the next, and specifically in our case, from a day that is set aside as a time for holiness and rest, to transition back into the hubbub and the whirlwind of the week. And on the beginning of Shabbat, we have Kabbalat Shabbat, and we have a ceremony and making Kiddush and lighting the Shabbat candles to kind of go into Shabbat. On the way out, we have the Habdala ceremony. And it has a cup of wine, let's say the blessing over a cup of wine, and it has a candle, right, to illuminate the darkness a little bit, and to keep the sparks of light and holiness kind of going and shining their light into the week. And it has spices that we smell to revive our soul, which metaphorically dies when it looks ahead to see how much more there is to do. And that's the angst of every Motzei Shabbat, the end of Shabbat. But it comes with that kind of the push of life of hit it. We got to get back to the grind. So Havdallah recognizes and honors that space of transition from the day of holy rest to the week where we've got work to do. And we'll hear it. A remix that we did of Debbie Friedman's Havdallah.
Yeah, now it's time to get the job done, as Matt says in the song.
What is Hashem? Smaller than any blossom, bigger than any Big Bang. It's awesome. Before Shabbat's done, sip the drops from. Where's the wine glass? Here.
Are you guys seeing the video? Yeah? Okay. My bad. I'm gonna start it over.
It's a little lagging though.
All right, let me reload it. I'm sorry, y'all, for the technical difficulties. I'm not sure what happened, but we're gonna reload that video and get it started one more time. Havdallah remix by Rappers and Rabbis.
This video is so pandemic. It is deep in the thick of pandemic.
Hashem? Smaller than any blossom, bigger than any big bang. It's awesome before Shabbat's done. Sip the drops from, where's the wine glass? Here I got one. Tip it off at the tippy top. Hold it aloft. Praise to God for Shabbat. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen borei peri Hashem, what is Hashem? Are we all one, or perhaps some? How to know which problem is really worth solving? And are we all in? Are we half-stepping? Let's get past questions, settle nerves, spiced herbs and nice words. We're just Vaughn, and we're a band, just observe. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei minei besamim borei minei besamim. Hashem, what is Hashem? Smaller than any blossom, bigger than any big bang. It's awesome before Shabbat's done. Put your fingers in the light until the light revolves them. A moment of solemn. Now it's time to get the job done. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei meorei ha'esh borei meorei
Now it's time to get the job done.
That's right.
So yeah, we have like a really important week, couple weeks coming up. I think really like with daylight savings coming, it really this next few weeks is the lead up, I guess, if you will, to Hanukkah, which is really a major, major celebration and something that I know all Jewish youth look forward to probably more than the parents. You know what I mean? But this is just like such a special time of year as the holidays are upcoming. It makes it really special this year because we have Hanukkah and Thanksgiving pretty much falling around the same time. I just want to go through a couple of these comments that just came in from Zach. I'm probably going to say this wrong. Zabidi says, "This is awesome. Wow, fire." And yeah, we got people right now too. We got people tuned in right now on YouTube, on our Facebook page, and on our Twitch page. So, it's just really a testament to what we've done with our innovation grant as a crew is we've tried to virtually bring people together during this time in the world where people just seem to be kind of philosophically spreading apart, if you will. And really the goal of Rappers and Rabbis is to bring people together to grow and to learn utilizing Judaism and hip hop. I am so proud to say, and I've been saying that we do have an album on the way. And maybe before we go any further into the next prayer, I don't know if Matt, if you want to talk a little bit about the album we have coming up.
Yeah, it's going to be 9 tracks that goes through a lot of the major prayers for Kabbalat Shabbat and Havdallah. And we just shot the album cover photo, which we're trying to make it kind of symbolize the whole movement, which is one of the co-founders, Ali, who's like a Rebbe, who does hip-hop jazz musicology, is an artist in resident at the African American Museum here in Philadelphia, just a brilliant scholar of hip-hop, a rabbi of hip-hop, if you will, also an MC, and then kind of like giving a handshake with Rabbi Adam on a drum, and there's tefillin wrapped on their arms, so kind of the drum of the motherland, plus Judaism, the tefillin, and then your hip hop rabbi and your hip hop rabbinic or Jewish rabbi kind of come together to join the Cipher and create something new. And so,
and the handshake itself was the circle of the Cipher in some kind of Mayan handshake that he was telling me about, that had the interwoven fingers being this like spiral.
Right.
It's a cool shot.
So now we're working on, photoshopping that. That's really the last thing before we put it out. I think the date will probably be January 9th or January 8th, I guess it would be, if that's when we're going to do our retreat. So in terms of when we release it, but we're going to be getting it out there in all different forms. So you'll be hearing it, like you'll be hearing it tonight. But it's something we're really excited about, really proud of. And the general goal is to be able to actually do a Friday night and Saturday night Shabbat service that touches all the appropriate prayers in a way that someone who goes to synagogue in order to bring in Shabbat and do Havdallah will feel comfortable with in terms of using the traditional prayers, but they're all going to be completely done differently. So you're going to hear the real prayers. They're going to be over hip hop beats, and they're going to be with rap verses, and then we'll bring participatory parts with the Cipher, having people join by freestyling or maybe adding beats. And so it's a ceremony what we're trying to create with this album. And so that when you listen to it, you can hopefully, if you've ever been to the synagogue for Jewish prayer, you can imagine these being done at the synagogue. People weren't always doing the way we do prayers now with either like old school, 19th century classical music or 60s, 70s folk music. And we feel there's a time and a place now for hip hop to really elevate Jewish prayer, and I think people will respond to it. And so we spend a lot of time to really make these prayers support the ceremony of Friday night Shabbat service. So you come there, and even if you're a traditional Jew, you'll feel like right at home. But if you're just a hip hop fan, you'll also feel at home. And that's hopefully what you'll see us bringing to you in the ceremony.
Yeah, then on top of that, we have other programs as well that we've been implementing into our yearly calendar. Everything from American celebrations, including hip hop, and holidays such as July 4th, where we did an entire program about Ellis Island and immigration of Jews to the United States. But we also have pop-up programs for Yom Kippur and other, Jewish holy days, if you want to call it that. So definitely stay tuned to what we have going on for everyone tuned in. Don't be afraid to send us a message, whether it's in the chat tonight or whether it's a DM on Instagram or a message on Facebook Messenger. Hit us up, and one of us, I promise you, will get back to you. And we're totally open and accepting as a community. So whatever, even if you just want to say hello, if you want to say shalom, or if you have any questions in particular, hit us up. We are definitely here to engage with the community in a very positive way, like I said, so we can all learn and grow together. So let's kind of get this service rolling through. You heard Brett say in the first video I played tonight, where he said, I loved what you guys did, especially the Shema. And I think every week when we play the Shema, this is like our fan favorite so far, if you will. So what I'm going to do now is play our remixed prayer of the Shema, as we can all pray together for renewal and rejoice in the Habdala ceremony that brings in the new week.
One time for your mind, one time for your mind. One guy from the squad, one guy from the squad, one guy from the squad. One time for your mind, one time for your mind. One guy from the squad, one guy from the squad, one guy from the squad. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Adonai Echad.
Holy Spirit like, 1 foot, 1 love, and 1 might. 1 race, 1 God, and 1 light. 2 hands, 1 left and 1 right. The many and the all involved in 1 fight. When division's the plight gets solved and we unite. Cause 1 ain't free if all ain't free. And you are not you if I am not me. Contemplate, elevate with the Elohim. Rappers and rabbis, 1 hell of a team. Building with the Musar, expressing a few bars. Traveling so far to the sound of the shofar.
1 of a kind hanging from the 1 vine. Wild grapes in the shade sometime become fine wine with a little sunshine. It's an hour past noon, can I get a 1 time? 1 time for your mind, 1 time for your mind. 1 God from the squad, 1 God from the squad, 1 God from the squad. 1 time for your mind, 1 time for your mind. 1 God from the squad, 1 God from the squad, 1 God from the squad. Shema Israel, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Adonai Echad. Not trying to be a prophet, but he who parted the sea is a part of me. When I look in my heart, I see the same history and mystery. I'm G-D'd up, I'ma read up with my feet up. Sabbath is just practice so we all get freed up. Please plant your seeds up, Israel's the bride and the groom's inside. 1 of a kind hanging from the 1 vine. Wild grapes in the shade sometime become fine wine with a little sunshine. It's an hour past noon, can I get a 1 time? 1 time for your mind, 1 time for your mind. 1 God from the squad, 1 God from the squad, 1 God from the squad. 1 time for your mind, 1 time for your mind. 1 God from the squad, 1 God from the squad, 1 God from the squad. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Adonai Echad.
Yeah, that's a banger, man. That's a religious banger right there. Not only is it the most integral prayer in just about any Jewish service you can imagine, it's really become the most integral piece of our upcoming album. So excited for people to be able to hear the album in its entirety. But right now, I kind of want to pass the rock over to our special guest of the evening, Internal Rhyme, who's alive and healthy and doing DJ Khaled poses, and he's living life to the fullest out there. But more importantly, you got a brand new song called Madonna that's online now. Maybe if you can just really quick talk about the inspiration behind your new song.
Absolutely. Well, I don't really know how the theme came about, which is, just sometimes how it works, right? But yeah, sometimes this is a weird one because it's a very specific theme, right? That like I turned it into. So it's basically a song about, intimacy with your significant other, for lack of a better word, and it's kind of themed all around Madonna herself. There's a few references to Madonna songs, and I don't really know. I think like as I was writing it, I just got like 1 hint of doing a thing. I don't know. I hinted towards 1 Madonna song, and it turned into many hints, and then it kind of turned into the theme, and then I wanted to kind of just use the song to also pay tribute to a goat, Madonna. So that's like kind of the content I've been doing around the song lately, is just actually paying tribute to all of these great, just great contributions that Madonna made to the musical world. So yeah, it's cool. That's the basic theme around it. It's not so age appropriate for the youth. So for those tuned in, parental advisory, but it's a good jam, and I hope you enjoy it, assuming we play it in a second. And yeah, it's out now.
Yeah. Before we play it, I do want to bring up the reason why I'm so excited to play this song. I mean, you could have dropped any song, and I would be excited to play it because you are definitely a very important part of this fellowship. For both reasons, for including hip hop and also Judaism. And in this case, Madonna actually represents a very interesting part of Judaism, which is that of Kabbalism. She is really an ambassador of Kabbalah and Jewish mysticism and culture. and she even considers herself an ambassador of Judaism throughout Hollywood and the entertainment business. Just a couple more facts about her. Since you've been doing some facts about her on your TikTok this week, I was inspired to do some research, and she's really been practicing Kabbalah and Jewish mysticism since the mid 1990s. And she's really one of the most prominent enthusiasts of incorporating Kabbalah-inspired themes into her music globally. She's donated over $20 million to different Kabbalah centers and programs. With one organization in specific, she's donated about $15 million to this organization that has over 60 centers of Kabbalah and study groups around the world. The U.S. pop singer Madonna has celebrated the Jewish New Year in Israel and even described herself as a worldwide ambassador of Judaism. She's a well-known Kabbalah devotee, met even with Israeli President Shimon Peres, who presented her with a copy of the Old Testament, and in return she gave Shimon Peres a volume of the Kabbalah Bible, the Book of Splendor. Even though Madonna's not Jewish, she reportedly told the Israeli president, "You don't know how popular the Book of Splendor is among Hollywood actors and elite. Everyone I meet talks to me only about that, and I now consider myself a cornerstone and an ambassador of Judaism in the entertainment business." Some Jews argue that her endorsement of Jewish mysticism even helps make Judaism more attractive to alienated young Jews, and have helped a lot of people around the world to deeply fall more in love with their Jewish roots. And I just think that's so incredible. You know what I mean? Like, so no matter what you think about her music, just culturally, she's an icon, not just in music, but also Judaism, kind of like how we're trying to be with rappers and rabbis. So I really just dig so much what she stands for. She stands for freedom and empowerment and just really kind of being the best version of yourself. She's never limited herself as a singer. She's done movies, she's done theater, she's acted, she's designed, she's done books, she's done clothing. She's really done it all, you know what I mean? And I can't say any more good things, so I'm just going to play the song and we're going to get into it. And kids, if you're tuned in, maybe put the earmuffs on for this one. I don't know. We'll see how free you are, you know. But thank you, Rhyme, for sharing the song with the world this week. I'm really excited to play it. Internal Rhyme, Madonna.
Treatise.
Feel like she born with a wagon on. Got me moving to a vagabond. Travel seas for that ocean. Like that's a John I'm tapping on. Trying to cause some kind of commotion. Feels right when we acting wrong. Got a shield that's blocking emotion. But I came swinging with a dagger drawn. How you feel about some melee? Smash when we kick it like Pele. She brought the filter and raw raps. I brought her fire like a PlayStation. She got that body like Kim K. I grabbed a camera like Ray J. Sipping crystal, we turned to a hurricane. I got her moaning, hey baby. And she never back down when I'm back bound. Throw that ass round in my spare R&B in the background. And she tap out. Don't even ask how we got here. Open door with a bath towel. I got a splash drown like it's the last round of the year. Hit her raw for the smackdown. Throw the Mac down. Tongue wrapped around your ear. Ain't no way that you over that. She said lay back, I think that I owe you that. I crack it open like a soda tap. Then my body becoming her yoga mat. Grabbing her face and pulling her hair. At this rate you might have to grow it back. That wagon of station, she ain't no oldie. Just let her way that she throw it back. When she throw it back like back it up, mama. Bust it down to Mayana. Stack it up, voila. Need a cut from my dollar. Hoe it up, higher. Roll that Mary G-Wanna. Soak it up, tighter. Like a V like Madonna. Yeah, soak it up. I make it cream like a coconut. Said she get V like Madonna. But I turn that thing to a doughnut. Got loyalty that's behind her. Was with me back when I was broke as fuck. Now we say fuck the designer, ayy. Material girl, no Madonna, ayy. And trust me, we know how to blow a bag. But we keep it invested. Post it up where you know it's at. She'll see me arrested. Got a brain on the bigger things. So development, she been arrested. Cuffing her down and stuffing her down. That turkey, I seen it undressed it. They went for one night at the West End. They living a life that's a blessing. So it ain't really no question. She gon' be wifey is destined. The passionate way we be sexing. In a second, with no resting. Look like she giving herself CBR by the way she be holding her chest in. Fingernails break on bed sheets. Hot screams from the head feast. Neighbors hearing every shaking move like it's breaking news, like it's press release. Fuck it, it don't even get me. No type of stress, she my baby, my bestie. Ride or die, they can eat a whole dick and get over it. She gon' be next to me. Partner ain't crime when we acting up. Rolling up, got me cracking up. Quarantine, we be shacking up, snacking up. Booty done fatten up. She got them curves for days. I swear the proportions ain't adding up. Make me dizzy by the way. I follow that thing when she back it up. Ay, back it up, mama. Bust it down to Mayana. Stack it up, voila. Need a cut from my dollar. Throw it up, higher. Roll that marijuana. Soak it up, tighter. Like a V like Madonna. Yeah, soak it up. I make it cream like a coconut. Said she give me like Madonna, but I turn that thing to a doughnut. Got loyalty that's behind her. Was with me back when I was broke as fuck. Now we say fuck the designer, ayy. Material girl, no Madonna, ayy.
So real quick, Rhyme, I got a quick question for you.
Great flow.
I've been interviewing a lot of rappers lately, and I've been asking all of them this question, right? I always kind of wonder what goes through like y'all's minds when you're in the recording studio, not so much lyrically, but like Rabbi just said, it had a great flow. What inspires that when you hear a beat to go either A, more melodic, or B, like more straightforward rap with it? Like, what is it about the beat that makes you go in either direction?
That's a really good question. I think what I've like come to realize over time is I feel like I've really begun to appreciate the voice as an instrument. And I feel like that is my contribution to the track, is like the producer almost gives me every stem of the beat except the last one or few, because you put ad-libs and stuff, but like, and that's my, like, I'm just adding that one instrument as strong as I can. So I think I realized that over time. I didn't used to appreciate that. I used to think that I was just writing lyrics, but over time, like, I began to appreciate changing my flow up, and then I began to really think about it like an instrument. I remember one time somebody said to me specifically that they felt like when they heard Biggie rhyme on a track, it was almost like the flow of a saxophone, but with a much deeper voice. And yeah, like, I never forgot that. Like, it just literally does phone. So now, I try to make it flow like an instrument.
Yeah, that's a great answer. I noticed they call it like the lead vocal. You know, like you support the lead with the ad libs and the doubles, but that lead vocal is just like a lead instrument taking a solo over the track. And it's almost like, I always feel like as a producer, you could strip away all the stems of the beat. And if the lead vocal is strong enough, you could kind of almost compose any beat around the vocal. A lot of producers are like, "Oh, my beat is what makes the song." Like, no, really, it's the vocal. I really believe in that. So, thank you for sharing with us. And Rabbi, I don't know if you have any notes on what I spoke about Jewish mysticism and Kabbalah, and maybe for all the people that's tuned in that aren't familiar with Kabbalah and its traditions and Jewish mysticism, if maybe you could just briefly sum it up.
Well, the very brief sum of it is oneness. It's exploring and understanding oneness on every level of existence, of how there can be multiplicity within oneness, and how we can experience that we are things are different, and yet know that they are all from the same source. So that's kind of what's behind all of it. And then what it is, it's many mystical teachings and discussion and mystical imagination based on verses of the Bible, of the Hebrew Bible, and a playful kind playful concept of God and different kind of aspects that all end up uniting in different kinds of ways.
And if you spell Kabbalah backwards, it's
Holla back. Holla back.
You know,
Holla back. Hallelujah.
Become are unriddled through Kabbalah.
Yeah, and there's a lot of depth in it, you know, and of course, you know, that's you know, the very, very first drop. But yeah, it's all about oneness.
Yeah,
One
Jewish
love.
mystic. Yeah, one God, one love, one everything. And Jewish mysticism is really just kind of one branch of the Jewish tree of life, if you will. One of the other branches that we talk about is Jewish ethics. And I don't know if Matt, really quick, if you want to bring up our upcoming next run of our fellowship and talk about Musar and Jewish ethics and what we're going to be kind of doing in the next few months.
Great, yeah, we're gonna do another fellowship where we'll take on hopefully 12 to 15 fellows. You can, and where we spend a couple months learning for a few hours each week together. Musar, which means which is Jewish ethics, and we're gonna both for personal development. So part of Musar is to concentrate on one soul trait like compassion or self-discipline each week, and then focus it on just that one and try to fine-tune some of these soul traits. So we'll do that as a collective by learning about it and doing little exercises. But of course, all of this will be done through the valence of hip hop. And so, you know, for example, one of the things in Musar is the first thing you're supposed to do when you're practicing a certain soul trait is you wake up and you do a little chant about, let's say if you're practicing compassion and you chant about compassion, you have like a line that gets you tuned into what your day is about. You're going to be practicing compassion, but of course we'll write bars about compassion. And so we're going to use this kind of Jewish ethics and the text of Jewish ethics as jump offs for content creation as MCs and try to get as deep as possible with it. And so you can go to rappersandRabbis.com if you're interested in signing up to apply for the fellowship. It's going to be kick off at a retreat on January 7th. And we're really excited to kind of get all of this information out there. We did a fellowship last year during pandemic, and you know, a lot of us are still spending time together, working together, and you know, we'll be applying Jewish ethics personally, but also I think to entrepreneurialism as well, like how to create good characteristics so you're someone people want to work with, and it will just it's a good guide for you if you're trying to be a creative, which is a different lifestyle than someone who might have a 9-to-5. You know, like Crate said, like this is 2021. If you're a creative, you have 4 jobs, you have 5 jobs. And so, you know, coming around people who are in the same situation, actually, we share our own stories and wisdom that we picked up over the years, but also try to root that in Jewish ethics from the past couple hundred years, together with rabbis. And then we also bring in like hip hop Rabbis who really like go in on soul traits, like a KRS One who might have a great song about compassion or about knowing your history or knowing yourself. And so it's always kind of a transmission of wisdom about living a good life, both from either hip hop or Judaism, and this fellowship is for hip hop artists who kind of want to get into that with us.
Yeah, absolutely. So please check us out at rappersandrabbis.com. Or like I said, hit us up with a message on Facebook or Instagram. We'll definitely get back to y'all. This past week, we did something special. We did an episode of our program called Rabbi Reactions, which is where we pick a classic hip hop song and video, and we kind of break it down and we talk about anything, you know, hip hop wise or anything Judaism wise or anything ethic wise that has to do with the video. And this past week, we talked about changes. by Tupac Shakur. So please, if you're tuned in and you got some extra time tonight or tomorrow, I mean, we all got some extra time since it's daylight savings tonight. Everybody's got an extra hour, so no excuse. Go to our YouTube page and check out this past week's episode of Rabbi Reactions, where we talked about changes by Tupac. This is one of the quotes that we talked about. Tupac said, "I see no changes. Can a brother get a little peace? There's war in the streets and war in the Middle East." And this song, Changes by Tupac, is so special. I mean, I always known how special this song was, but just getting into a discussion this past week with Tex Rich Ali, with Rabbi, and with Matt, who was also in the building, I've been listening to the song really over and over the past few days. And for the hip hop heads out there, I reveal where the sample of the song comes from and how special the original version of the song was that Tupac sampled. So please, please go to our YouTube page and check out the most recent episode of Rabbi Reactions. We will be doing a lot more of those in the next couple months. We did a really special episode a couple weekends ago when KRS-One and Big Daddy Kane did a versus battle, and we did an entire pre-show before the versus battle. So if you have time, like I said, no excuses because it's daylight savings and everybody has an extra hour. So go to our YouTube page and tune into all the content that we have to offer on the hip hop side of things, on the Judaism side of things. We put them together and we make everything about life, learning, growing, and positivity. So it's kind of getting late, so I don't know if you guys maybe want to wind it down, but we've been talking about oneness. We've been talking about prayer. We've been talking about Jewish mysticism, which really encapsulates all the wonder, all the wondrous things about Judaism that isn't exactly explained in the text of the Torah. The Jewish mysticism element is more, how can I plainly describe it? It's more of the spiritual element of Judaism, not so much religious, but spiritual. So, in that mode of being spiritual, and since we have special guest Internal Rhyme in the building, of course, you know what we're about to do. We're going to get into Oseh Shalom, which is an amazing, amazing prayer and melody that is for peace and for wholeness, for oneness, not just inner peace, but peace around the world. We have a special prayer going out tonight to all the families and friends of people that were affected by the tragedy last night at the Astroworld Festival in Houston. We really want to send just our comfort, our prayers of positivity. I mean, we're all hip hop heads here, and we hate to see tragedy happen in the hip hop world. So we really have a special prayer tonight. Internal Rhyme, I don't know if maybe you want to give any further introduction and talk about your verse on this song, which is really special. And then we'll go into Oseh Shalom.
Yeah, yeah. I think the Astroworld event is definitely the relevant one tonight. It's interesting, similarly to like the Torah and other aspects of our culture. This song is something that week to week feels like it connects to something else in the world, for better or worse. I think like that connection is really beautiful. That you know, we are always striving for peace, and at the same time, you know, it shows that the world is full of strife, and that is a constant theme as well. Little hint, that's actually the name of my upcoming project that Madonna will be featured on, is strife. I think that's a big theme in our world today, and not to harbor too much on the negativity. Ultimately, I think we are all striving towards a light, but at the end of the day, we are all fighting a battle too. This is one of the hardest years we as a people have ever faced. So, you know, thinking about each and every one of us tuned in tonight, and those of us not tuned in, and you know, always just striving for that light at the end of the day. So yeah, this song is really special. Oseh Shalom in general is a really beautiful prayer, and the way that we flip this one is really meaningful to me. So hope you like it.
Yeah, and as they say in New York in the hip hop world, they say ASAP, which means always strive and prosper. So if you've heard of ASAP Ferg, ASAP Rocky, it's all about striving and all about prospering. And the hip hop world has celebrated that. And we celebrate that in the world of Judaism as well, especially with this prayer, Oseh Shalom.
Oh, say shalom bimroma, Booyah, say shalom aleinu, Le'al kol Israel, Bimru, amen. Oh, say shalom bimroma, Booyah, say shalom aleinu, Le'al kol Israel, Bimru, amen.
Y'all say shalom. 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 Y'all say shalom.
Y'all say shalom, I play Capone. Actually, I'm Maya. Who passing me the lighter? We bout to take you higher. You waiting on Messiah. They hit you with the hezzy. Get on your Hezekiah. Till heaven is your climbing. The devil wants attention. I dead him off with silence. Though violence is cathartic, remember your assignment. Recorded on papyrus. They cannot ignore it, not even in the slightest. Talking about a blockchain, these tokens came from Titus. Before there was a pilot, we was flying on Osiris. Try us.
Sharp sources of pruning force, then pruning force to tuning chords, a higher type of harmony. When we know we ain't harming, we sharp sources of pruning force, then pruning force to tuning chords, a higher type of harmony. When we know we ain't harming, we say shalom bimroma, Booyah, say shalom aleinu, Le'al kol Israel, Bimru, amen. Oh, say shalom bimroma, Booyah, say shalom aleinu, Le'al kol Israel, Bimru, amen.
Y'all say shalom. 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 Y'all say shalom.
One day we'll peace out, go fishing with Trump and Hillary Clinton. Eye to eye, fist to fist, no fist cuffs, only fist bumps. We need to talk it out. Alphabet text, introduce yourself. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I. Hi, H, I.
One day we could just listen to what the artist has written. Smidgens the hardest renditions of where the pain lies. One day we'll embrace differences, cause that type of division feels like an ending, but really it's just a gray sky. And it hardly ever rains on the west side, but I'm rocking with the gang out of best time. Trying to unify, shout to the next time. Gotta get by with a head high and set the example. I know the fight that's a hand is a handful. So settle down, get around. With my brother MC and we don't mean no Rambo. Hip hop is a sample of the feeling of peace it projects from the core. Let us dismantle the systems that keep us attached to the floor. Ain't back in the war. I throw two fingers up to the Shemesh. Stick to my moral ground, that's how I stay sound without no regrets. I got the best love and I'm spreading it far as it gets. And I tell you to bless up, cause reality hard as a desk. So when I'm starting to fret, gotta let anxiety get away. Cause I know larger the stress, the larger the bet, there's gotta be better days. Oh say
shalom bimroma, Booyah, say shalom aleinu, Le'al kol Israel, Bimru, amen. Oh, say shalom bimroma, Booyah, say shalom aleinu, Le'al kol Israel, Bimru, amen.
Y'all say shalom. 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 Y'all say shalom.
So this is a Havdallah service and Cipher. Rhyme, I see you bopping your head over there. I don't know if you got some bars available for tonight. Matt, I don't know if you got some bars available tonight. How y'all feeling?
I got some bars for Wesley Curry II.
I'm always down.
All right. Let me find a beat for y'all. Give me 1 second and we're going to get into it. Hold up. I think, I want to try and find something spicy for tonight. Give me 1 second. Okay, here's some spice right here. Here's some spice. This is Matt's favorite closing song that we've been doing over this last year. We're going to get spicy with it right now with a little Adon Olam. You know what I mean? Let's get it.
Try doing the video.
Oh yeah,
You know.
I can do that.
Go. Shout out Wesley Curry. You, homie. Everybody's welcome here. Wisdoms of all faiths. Jesus walk. Kanye West. Jesus saves. Moses invest. Jesus walk. Kanye West. Jesus walks. Moses invest. Black bar mitzvah, black bar mitzvah, mixing up my mix. Take metaphor, numbers lie, get that, get straight. I think I'm Abraham. Peace unto you, Assalam. Fastest night meets faster night like a Muslim, and it's Ramadan. Jesus walks. Kanye West. Jesus saves. Moses invests. Jesus walks. I'll pass the mic to internal rhyme. Give him what you like.
My man Moses invests. Internal rhyme, I do it best. And I say it with my chest. Out in LA in the West. Can't come with nothing less. Blowing loud for the stress. Do it from the best. Check it out. With rappers and rabbis, yeah, they're my guys. On a Saturday night, Havdallah is Havdallah, we live. Yeah, we live. See it all in my eyes. These type of rhymes you would never despise. Okay, yeah. Sipping up coffee, feeling caffeinated. Rappers and rabbis, yeah, you know we made it. Every day, we just striving for success. Like I said, Moses invest. And shout out to Kanye West. Follow him on Drink Champs, that was the best. Has some funny words to say. But you know that's just yay. And we doing it for $5 Day. That's Saturday. Shavu, I told we just on and we. I don't know, I'm gonna stop there. That was the natural pause.
Nice.
You know what's so funny, man? I'm glad y'all brought up Kanye.
Yeah.
That Drink Champs interview he did this week is really going to go down in history. It was a lot to unpack. I mean, we're talking about 3 hours of woo, but there was one quote in that 3 hours of madness that was so crazy and stuck with me for the last few days. I can't stop thinking about it. This is very controversial. I almost don't want to say it, but I feel like it's just so poignant for what's been going on in the world and what we talk about. Kanye said something to this effect. He said, you know, they were talking about the hood and they were talking about black on black crime and murders and poverty and all this stuff that we were talking about just last week as we were watching Tupac's Changes video. And this is what he said. He said, how come in Jewish communities do you not see black on black crime? And I was like, whoa, I need to do some research on this. And I'm just like wondering, in most Jewish communities, is there really an abscess of black on black crime? And what we preach, even our album cover coming soon, is really a testament to brotherhood of man. Doesn't matter what color you are, doesn't matter what race, doesn't matter what ethnicity. We're all in this together. You know, we really are all one in the world. And Kanye really fixed his mouth to say that he believes that in Jewish communities, there's no black on black crime. I thought that was really interesting and something for us all to unpack throughout this next week and something to talk about. So I don't know, Rabbi, maybe we can get together this week and we'll watch a Kanye video and we'll kind of get into some of what he talked about this week, because it was really eye opening. I'll tell you that much. And I'm interested in doing the statistical research. You know what I mean? And we can go back probably, you know, through history and just really see what peace and life is like in Jewish communities. So it's pretty amazing. But anyway, shout out to Eternal Rhyme, man. Special guest. Let's all give a round of applause. Eternal Rhyme, man. Thank you for blessing us with new music this week. I think we've done maybe 3 or 4 programs where we've debuted your music, and we continue as a fellowship to support what you have going on, and we're really thankful that you've blessed the world with such great music. Like you said in your introduction for Oseh Shalom, it's been a really rough couple years, and that has not stopped you from making great music. So thank you, man. Prayers to you, blessings to you. And I don't know if before we wrap up, I've been doing this in my interviews lately when I interview people. I'll say, do you have any last words or shout outs? Like, the floor is yours. So, starting with Rhyme, let's maybe go around, and if anybody has any last words or shout outs before we wrap up, this is the time.
Yeah, for sure. Well, just definitely want to shout out all in attendance tonight. Want to shout out the Rappers and Rabbis crew and just the platform in general. As Crates was just saying that, I was just reflecting on the fact that I'm really grateful to have a platform like this where, like, not only do I really enjoy the events and what we bring to the table, but also, it's really like a brotherhood, or, open to being more than just a brotherhood. All are welcome. But a really tight knit community that really like promotes each other, and we mess with each other in a good way. So shout out to that. Crates, thank you for always like helping debut my music and supporting it. Whether or not Crates is the producer on the track, he gives it the same type of energy to like still promote it.
Always.
Right.
Yeah, I really appreciate that. And then
Hold on.
that,
Especially the music you put out with Trey Tice. Like, y'all have a great sound together. Like, I really love the way you sound together.
Yeah, thank you, bro. And definitely shout out to Trey Tice down in Arizona. That's the homie who did produce Madonna and producing that EP coming up. And besides that, just again, grateful to be here. Thank you to everyone. Tune in with me at Internal Rhyme. Like Crate said, shoot a message. We're always down to connect. Please sign up for the fellowship so you can also be part of this community. We definitely have open arms and are welcoming folks. And I'll see y'all at the next event. I'll be here.
Nice.
Thank you, Rhyme. Thanks for being here, Rhyme. And
I love having you.
And it's always great making music with you. Always make me have to go back and redo my verse after you do yours. It's all right. It's all right. I'm not ashamed of that fact. I want to shout out this guy named Dr. Hani El Kadi, who is from my hometown, Iowa City. And when I was a lunch lady dude after college, I came back home to help with my dad, but also I was an alternative high school assistant teacher, but part of my job was doing serving lunch. So they called me lunch lady dude. But this guy was kind of like the one of the teachers there, and he was a mentor of mine for 4 or 5 years about alternative education, which is really what I ended up pursuing with my music, and gave me a lot of opportunities. And a brilliant artist, also a surgeon, was also like captured in a Egyptian jail for 3 years, like worked as a surgeon for the UN. Incredible life. But I hit him up because we're putting out an album just of my songs, not necessarily not Rappers and Rabbi songs, but with my guitar. And I hit him up because he's such a great artist. And the main song on the album is going to be called Iowa City. That's the single, and also what the album is going to be called, Iowa City. And this guy's an Iowa City institution, and I hit him up and I asked him if he could make the art for it. And he says, Matt, I would be honored. This very well might be my last piece of art. I'm having struggling with a fierce battle with liver cancer, and it's spreading throughout. And so I've rekindled kind of my mentorship with him. And you don't get a chance often to like really say thank you to the people who were formative and who you ended up becoming as a man, and especially in your positive, what you've reached out and helped be a positive light. And this guy was so important to me, Dr. Hani El Kadi, and he's making the art for Iowa City, the album. So shout out to Hani, and all that work he's done. And just a reminder, like, if you think of someone, a teacher or a mentor, or maybe some kind of person in your life many years ago that you, looking back on, you're like, oh, thank God that guy or that woman or whoever they were in my life. It's always nice to reach out years later and just let them know, like, you're still with me, because that means the world to them. And, you know, even now as I'm getting older, I have a couple emails here from like people who went through Jewish camp and were like, you really, for the first person who gave me confidence to like talk in front of people, like through our, and that just, you know, that's the kind of fuel, that's more than money. That's more than prestige, to hear like you really were a positive influence on a young person who became a light, you know, to the nations, but you were integral in that process to become positive. So reach out for those people who, you know, were integral to the formation of who you are as a person. And because I mean, that's really more than any currency can buy. It's just to let you know that your life had meaning to other people is a big deal. So shout out to Hani El-Kadi, and it was great to kind of give him his roses. And it was pretty hard to hear, like, oh, one of my heroes, you know, is on his deathbed, but it's been nice to rekindle that relationship before it was too late, you know.
Amen.
Yeah, beautiful. And I'll just close with a little blessing for the week ahead of us. This week we read the story of our father Jacob running away. And the adventure goes on, and finding a wife and has a lot of kids and ends up coming back. But there's so many ways in which we are all kind of on the run, escaping things that are out to get us. And being on the run is a difficult place to be. And there's you need to keep your sense around you. But I guess I'll bless us that while we're on the run, until we reach the place of, a nice resting place, which might be next Shabbat. But while we're on the run, that we have this sense of community and unity kind of on our minds and in the backs of our minds, to just kind of keep us connected and grounded even when we're farther away.
Amen.
So yeah, that about does it for this week. That was really a blessed Havdallah service. Gentlemen, thank you so much for joining in. I got to shout out some of the other members of our fellowship really quick. Shout out to Mr. E, who recently turned 30, and we're kind of still all celebrating his birthday and his entering new era of his life. Big shout out to Papa Left, another member of our fellowship. Ryan, you should have seen it, man. Papa Left came down to Philly to do this show with us, and it was so legendary. And it was so legendary because I thought he was joking. He came up to me at the DJ booth for what I assumed was to give me his music to perform. And he said, Crates, he said, I don't know, man. He said, can you just like play some instrumentals for 15 minutes? And I'm literally just going to freestyle for 15 straight minutes and see what happens. And that man freestyled and kept the crowd's attention for 15 minutes. He spit so many bars. I couldn't even count the bars he spit in that 15 minutes. So
it was incredible.
Legendary. I mean, that was legendary as an MC, to come to a place where nobody really knows you or have heard your music, and he just had their attention the whole time. He had the crowd in the palm of his hand. Shout out to Papa Left. Also, big shout out to Spencer Fro. Shout out to our guy Spencer, who helped with the footage and the editing of the video that we played to kick off tonight's service. So big shout out to Spencer. Man, just everybody in our fellowship is so talented in so many ways. So my last words is just shout out to everybody that's part of our crew that's not with us tonight. They're definitely with us in spirit. And again, I go by Digital Crates. I'm representing for Rappers and Rabbis as the host of this program. Thank you guys so much for your time, for your talents, and for your blessings that you bring to the world of hip hop and the world of Judaism. And with that, we are out, y'all.
Peace.